The Corn Secret: How Native Americans Saved Early European Settlers from Starvation. Imagine a new land full of promise yet harboring deadly dangers. The first European settlers arriving in North America faced an invisible enemy: starvation. Their traditional European farming methods, suited for their familiar climate, proved utterly useless in this foreign territory. Settlements like Jamestown, Hispaniola, and New France were plunged into despair. During the winter of 1609 to 1610 at Jamestown, 2 out of every 3 people perished. In their desperation, they resorted to eating horses, rats, shoe leather, and there were even gruesome accounts of digging up corpses for food. When the English arrived in Massachusetts in 1620, they had to steal corn from the Wampanoag, but that meager supply was far from enough. They lacked the basic knowledge to grow their own food, and the peas they sowed using European methods were parched under the sun. Starvation wasn't just a lack of food, it was a profound lack of understanding of the very land they were trying to survive on. But long before European ships arrived, a great civilization thrived, and with it a plant of sacred significance: corn. For the indigenous peoples of Mesoamerica, corn was more than just sustenance. It was considered a sacred grain, a gift from the gods, and a source of life. The story of corn began 9,000 years ago, when its ancestor, a wild grass called Balsas teosinte, was patiently selected and domesticated over centuries by indigenous civilizations. Corn nourished mighty empires like the Olmec, Maya, and Aztec. For the ancient Maya, corn held immense spiritual meaning, with legends telling of humans being created from corn. Images of corn appeared everywhere on artifacts, murals, and corn deities were worshipped. This wasn't just agriculture, it was an ancient form of genetic science, a deep understanding of plants and their environment passed down through generations. Native Americans didn't just grow corn. They developed sophisticated agricultural techniques to make it flourish. Most notably, the Milpa system, also known as the 3 Sisters, involved planting corn, beans, and squash together. Corn stalks provided natural support for climbing beans. Beans absorbed nitrogen from the air, converting it into natural fertilizer for the soil. Squash, with its broad leaves, covered the ground, suppressing weeds, retaining moisture, and protecting the crops. This practice not only increased yields, but also prevented soil erosion and maintained nutrient levels. They also employed advanced fertilization methods, such as burying fish, particularly menhaden, alongside corn seeds. As the fish decomposed, they released essential nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium into the soil, significantly boosting crop productivity. And another revolutionary technique was nixtamalization. This process, originating from the Aztec, Inca, Maya, and other indigenous American civilizations, involved soaking and cooking corn in an alkaline solution, usually lime water. Nixtamalization dramatically increased corn's nutritional value by making niacin, vitamin B3, more absorbable, while also breaking down the outer hull to enhance flavor and make it easier to grind into masa for essential traditional foods like tortillas and tamales. Without nixtamalization, a corn-dependent diet could lead to pellagra due to niacin deficiency. This demonstrates the extraordinary ingenuity of Native Americans in solving complex nutritional challenges. Facing starvation and the failure of their own methods, the European settlers were desperate. It was at this critical juncture that indigenous communities intervened, sharing their invaluable knowledge and creating a bridge to survival. Edward Winslow documented the stark contrast between the English's parched peas and the good increase of Indian corn grown according to the manner of the Indians. A key figure in this knowledge transfer was Tisquantum, also known as Squanto, from the Patuxet tribe. After a harsh first winter, Squanto played a crucial role in the Pilgrims' survival in Plymouth. He taught them Native American corn cultivation methods, including the 3 Sisters and the use of fish as fertilizer. Native Americans were the colonists' first instructors for the planting of their Indian corn, teaching them how to select the best seeds, observe the fittest season, maintain proper spacing for holes and hills, and how to worm it and weed it. They also taught the Europeans how to harvest and process corn into various palatable dishes. The colonists adopted these indigenous preparation methods, leading to dishes still known today by their native names: hominy, pone, samp, sapon, and succotash. And knowledge shared by Native Americans not only saved the lives of the European settlers, but also initiated a journey that transformed corn into one of the world's most important food crops. Corn is a master of adaptation, thriving in diverse environments from humid tropics to cooler temperate climates. This inherent adaptability, honed by indigenous peoples over millennia, allowed it to spread globally after Columbus brought it back to Spain. Corn is a healthy grain and a vital source of fiber, vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants. It contains lutein and zeaxanthin, beneficial for eye health, fiber for digestion, and antioxidants like quercetin. While primarily a food source, corn's versatility extended beyond the plate. Corn cobs were used as fuel, for smoking meats, and even as children's toys. Corn kernels served as game pieces in games and even as vote counters in elections. However, there's a critical modern paradox. The very biodiversity of heirloom corn varieties, carefully cultivated and protected by indigenous communities for millennia, is now threatened by industrial agriculture, homogenization, and genetically modified seeds. The story of corn and its role in saving the early European settlers is a powerful testament to the profound wisdom and invaluable contributions of Native Americans. They not only ensured the survival of the early settlements, but also shaped the agriculture and culture of a nascent nation and ultimately global food security. Recognizing and honoring this legacy is not just a historical acknowledgement, but an essential step towards safeguarding food security and biodiversity for future generations.